Thursday, October 4th, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, 2018. Guys, in this video, we're going to take a look at Cat 4 Hurricane Sergio as it's churning in the East Pacific Ocean. Right now, it's running solo. It's been a very busy season in the Pacific Ocean in general. Many super typhoons in the West Pacific. Several hurricanes, strong hurricanes, like this one here is a Cat 3 now or a Cat 4? Cat 4, 130 mile an hour sustained. Advisory number 22 on Sergio. It's due to make a right-hand turn and supposed to make landfall in the same general area as Rosa, coming right over the Phoenix-Tucson area once again. This storm here, I think, will have much more energy than Rosa did. We were right in the middle of Rosa out here in southeast Phoenix, and honestly, the wind didn't even blow. We saw some light to moderate rain, less than an inch in our area. Didn't even know it was a tropical storm, to be honest. If you didn't know that it was the remnants of a tropical storm, you would have had no idea. But this is Sergio, which is a much different story. It's going to be moving quicker as it's coming towards land. At least that's what the models are implying right now. See the distance between the dots? That's a day's worth of movement. Down here you can see the dots are very close together because it's not really moving. The farther the dots are away, the faster the forward speed. So this thing will be making landfall at a faster forward speed than Rosa did, which means it will be coming ashore with more of its tropical characteristics. Here it is on the 10th, still rotating offshore with wind speeds of 100 mile an hour sustained. Let's step it ahead to Thursday. Getting close to that same exact area where Rosa was. Wind speeds of still 100 mile an hour according to VentureSky.com. Stepping ahead to 11 o'clock on that same night. You can see it's already over the Phoenix area. So it's moved all that distance in less than 18 hours. Rosa was very, very slow by comparison. So they're showing wind gusts in the Phoenix area on Thursday night at around 11 o'clock of over 50 miles an hour. A widespread area of high winds. And I think it will also bring multiple inches of rain. Even though it will be moving faster, it will have more of a tropical signature to it than Rosa did. It will be going right over, according to the models now, this is a model, a forecast, so it can and will change, going right over the same general area as Rosa. By Thursday into Friday of next week during the overnight hours, again, that could change, but look for winds out of this event, making its way into the Albuquerque, New Mexico area, spreading out much wider. I think this is going to be a bigger, stronger storm than Rosa ever thought about being. Here's a look at the infrared. Here's a look at it on Google Earth. Right there it is. It's still a very well-organized tropical storm. Actually, it's a Cat 4 hurricane, and it's got everything in its favor right now. Looking at this model here at the SSEC, let's go to the infrared. Let's look at the wind shear. No wind shear. Red lines are wind shear. Green is favorable. See the favorable here? It's in all green. Very favorable for the formation and maintenance of hurricanes and tropical storms. Let's look at its vortex. Very tight. That's a strong, healthy storm. Outflows. Big, strong outflows. Inflows. Very big, strong storm. So right now, if that storm were to make landfall anywhere, it would bring a lot of rain with it. I mean a lot, and some very high winds. Thankfully, it's not. But once it makes this right-hand turn, it's going to move rather quickly towards the California Baja, coming over the desert southwest as a much more organized system than what Rosa was. Again, that's a week away. Models can, do, and will change, but I think Sergio, according to all of the models now, will be a rainmaker in about a week. There's the landfall right there at 979 millibars. The lower that number is, the stronger and the windier the storm is. And if you look at the tight lines by that L, see how close those lines are together? Those are isobars. That means high wind. The closer the lines are, the higher the winds. And you see very tight lines over the Phoenix, Tucson, Casa Grande area. And that's on Thursday night into Friday morning of next week. And that orange is a lot of moisture. So look for a lot of rain from Sergio. It's a long ways out, but I still think it's, according to at least all the models I use, is going to be an overachiever. Right now, there's an extreme temperature imbalance across the United States. We've got unseasonably warm temperatures in the southeastern part of the U.S. and unseasonably cool temperatures in the western U.S. And it's normally flip-flopped. Very strange. But anyway, along that border where the hot air meets the cool air, it's going to create instability. You can see, in fact, Sergio out here spinning right now, and I'm using a thunderstorm app. I'm looking for the lifted index, which shows us instability in the atmosphere. And this is a ridge of instability. So along this line here, expect severe weather over the next several days because it's not really going to move much. Once it does start to move, it will pull Sergio up into the desert southwest. Look for record, or at least potential record rainfall in parts of Oklahoma, northern Texas, up into parts of Kansas. Wisconsin could even see in the coming days record rainfall because of this ridge of, look at the sharp contrast, how much cooler it is up here and how much warmer it is down here. Very unusual. Stepping ahead a day at a time, and you can see it's kind of stuck over the central U.S. where that sharp contrast is, especially right here on Saturday. Severe storms all along this line. Severe from Chicago down into, well, through Oklahoma into North Texas to Lubbock, all through here, Oklahoma City, especially around the Tulsa area. And that's on Saturday afternoon. Once this ridge decides to move off to the east, and it's going to stick around for a while, bring unseasonably cool temperatures out here in the west, unseasonably warm temperatures in the east. And that's going to create some severe weather. Good chance of it for the next 5 to 6 days throughout the Midwest. Once this starts to move, look what's coming up. Sergio. And that's still a well-organized system. Making landfall on Thursday and quickly coming up into the desert southwest on Thursday night and Friday. There you go, Friday. It's already well inland. So it will be moving rather quickly. Look for high winds, heavy rainfall over the desert southwest in about a week, courtesy of Hurricane Sergio. That's now a very well-organized textbook Category 4 hurricane. Probably, well, it's too early to tell, but could be one of the last storms of the season. If we look at null school, we're still seeing in the Atlantic, like we saw at the beginning of hurricane season, this dust cloud that's emanating from the western coast of Africa, coming out of the Sahara. It still is persisting across the Atlantic Ocean. It's clearing up in parts of the Pacific. Normally, this is blue. The green is dust and dust particulates. This blue is what the globe normally looks like. The green are dust and dust particulates. The tans are thicker dust particulates, and they're all coming from the same location, the Sahara Desert. I do think it's impacted the hurricane season in the Atlantic Ocean. In a good way. We don't want to see another season like 2017. But I definitely think this has influenced, as we've only gotten up to L this year, which isn't uncommon. That's Leslie, and it will be there for another week. It will probably drift off into the North Atlantic, but this dust will continue. I wonder for how long. We've been looking at this dust since July. So, I don't know. I'd kind of be glad to see the dust kind of go away and get back to some clear air, because that's affecting a big part of the northern and southern hemisphere. So I don't know what's causing that. It's very unusual for it to persist this long. Yes, it has happened before in the past, but doesn't usually linger on for months and months at a time. But nevertheless, it's still there, and I do think it has had an impact on the Atlantic hurricane season. We may see something form in the Caribbean in the next few weeks. It's not entirely out of the question, but I think overall the hurricane season is finally coming to a close. We'll see Hurricane Sergio make landfall in the desert southwest, and once again, it could bring heavy rain to the Phoenix, Tucson, Casa Grande area in about a week. So we'll have to definitely wait and see and keep our eye on that. But look for high winds associated with this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.